Alright, we're going to continue where we left off last time. This one's going to be really fast paced. We've got a lot to cover in one quick episode. So we're going to start by generating the controller using IB, and we'll call it tweets. It's going to have a outlet for the profile image, which will be a UI image view. It's going to have a username label, which will be a UI label, a bio label, which will be a UI label as well, a tweets text, which will be UI text view, and a next button, which will be a UI bar button item. Then we're gonna, for our actions, we're gonna have next tweet, and for our accesses, we're going to have tweets. That's going to generate our control, the controller, the helper, and the controller spec. So we'll run rake IB open to open that next code. Then we'll create a new file in our resources directory, which will be the storyboard for iPhone, and we'll leave it as the default name. Drag in a view controller and set it to use our tweets controller, which IB set up for us through the stub file in here. We'll save that. Then we're going to head back to Sublime and to the terminal and open up Sublime. We'll open up our main spec file. And we'll create a new spec saying it has it sets the root view controller to be a tweets controller. We'll check that by checking that the root view controller's class name should equal tweets controller. So we'll run our spec, and we see that fails. So we'll head back to Sublime and open up our app, and we'll create a storyboard, set it to UI storyboard dot storyboard with name storyboard, and set this to nil, and then we set the root view controller equal to the storyboard dot instantiate initial view controller, and we run rake spec. We've got an error there. Oop. Okay, so run it again. And there it is passing. So now we'll head back to Xcode, and I'm going to quickly create the layout. We'll add an image view, and set it to be x20, y 40, width 70, height 70. We'll add a label and align it to the top of the UI image. Set it to 100, 40, width will be 230, oops, 200, and 20. And then we'll create another one for our oop, 240, and set the text to be that. Set the font size to be 11. We're actually going to make this bold, and we'll make this have 3 lines. Then we'll add our text view, which we'll set to be 120, 280, and the height we'll leave for now. We're just going to add a toolbar first. Put that on the bottom of the page, on the screen, and then add some flexible space. Helps if I can spell. Change this to next tweet, and make that 390. Sorry, 394. Now we'll open up our assistant editor and we'll put it on the header file, which was generated by IB for us. And we're just going to control drag to each from the views to their corresponding entries in the header. Helps if I can drag. There you go. Great. Now we're going to create constraints. You can think of constraints as basically like hooks that sort of stretch and shrink the elements of the layout according to the way you define it. The way we do that, I'll link to I'll link to an article on constraints, but we control drag from our view creating these constraints. There you go. Then constraints for the toolbar. Should be leading. Trailing. There you go, and all of our constraints are set up. And now if we save that and go back here, and view it in our simulator, we can now see that it stretches, and if we look at it in our 3.5 inch for the iPhone 4 size, the iPhone 4 4S size, and that's it. We have it running. That's it for this episode.